I know. I've been gone for way too long, but I promise it was for a good cause. Life was happening, honestly. I was just rounding up on my master's degree. I am also planning a wedding, and everything just became so overwhelming, and I wasn't able to record. But I am back, and this episode is going to be the final episode in our series on friendship. Are you ready? Okay, so I decided to talk about one of the most important things I can ever tell you about friendship. If you've learned nothing else from my series, please hear me. Friendship shapes you quietly. Yes, it's not a dramatic shaping, not all at once, but it happens slowly over time. The conversations you're having with your friends, the behaviors that you internalize, and honestly, even the way you begin to see yourself around certain people. Friendship influences us in ways that we do not notice immediately. And that's why I've taken the time out to really dive deep into the topic of friendship. Hi, I'm Pearl, and this is Living with Intention, where we talk about a life that feels meaningful and not just productive. And in the final episode on our friendship series, I want to talk about something deeper than simply having friends. I want to talk about how your friendships shape who you're becoming. Whether we realize it or not, human beings are sponges. We soak up the environment that we're in, and friendships are a part of that environment. Over time, the people you're around start to influence your mindset, your emotional patterns, your confidence, your habits, and even your standards for yourself. Not because they are controlling you, but because intimacy and proximity creates influence. Before you know it, you start to normalize what is consistently around you. You find out that hanging out with this person, you start to actually speak their lingo. Sometimes you say the exact same things they say in the exact same way they say it. Sometimes you start to handle conflict in the same way they handle conflict. And sometimes you start to approach life in the same way they approach life. Little by little, the things that affect them start to affect you too. And that's why friendship is more powerful than people think, because influence is often quiet before it becomes visible. This influence is not always a bad thing. In fact, there are some friendships that make you become more of yourself and make you feel more like yourself. You're not feeling smaller, you're not feeling pressured, you're not feeling insecure. Those friendships simply make your mindset and your perspective clearer. Those are the kind of friendships I spoke about in episode 2. Friendships that inspire growth naturally, friendships that make honesty feel safe, friendships that encourage emotional maturity, and friendships that create peace rather than confusion. When you leave conversations with this person, you leave conversations feeling lighter. It's almost therapeutic to hang out with a friend like this. This person makes you feel supported. You really don't feel like you're competing with this friend. So in a way, they support your becoming. They make you think deeper. They make you heal from past traumas that you didn't even know existed until they pointed it out. They make you become wiser, not through force, but through consistent, healthy influence. These are friendships that expand you. But as much as you have these kind of friendships, you also have friendships that shrink you, that make you slowly disconnect from yourself. And the scary part is, this happens without you knowing that it's happening. It is so subtle. You just find that you have started to censor yourself. You start downplaying your goals because this person makes you feel like your dreams are impossible to achieve. You start hiding parts of your growth because this person has shown envy or makes you feel like you always have to compete or compare. And before you know it, you started to also abandon your boundaries. Not because this person has actually come out directly and asked you to do so, but because sometimes the environment that you're in is not a very suitable environment for you to be authentically yourself. I can relate to this personally because I have the kind of personality where, I don't know, let me speak like Jesus. I'm a stumbling block. For some, I'm a cornerstone. For some, I'm a stumbling block, right? But I'm a rock in my nature. Sometimes my personality is abrasive towards certain people, but sometimes people literally just feel my energy and soak it all up. When I was in those environments where my personality was abrasive, I would leave those interactions feeling emotionally drained, tense, I'll be very, very self-conscious, or I would just feel living very heavy in my heart. And after a while, I found myself, whenever I'm around these people or in these environments, I have to start shifting, code switching, trying to tailor my personality to suit that environment. Guys, this is where influence stops being healthy, because healthy relationships make space for you to exist as your most authentic self. Healthy friendships don't require for you to shrink and become small just so that you can maintain the connection you have with this person. Another thing I want you to hear loud and clear in this video is that what is normal around you will eventually become your new normal. If you stay in a place where they are barbecuing meat, so someone has suya on the grill, and you stay there for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, it doesn't matter where you go. You can go to a luxurious spa. Once you walk in, you're going to be smelling like smoky barbecue. In the same way, you slowly soak up your social environment and you become what is normal around you. If negativity is constantly normalized amongst your friendship groups, you will become a negative person. If gossip is normal in your friendships, you will become a gossip. If emotional avoidance is normal, nobody ever talks about their feelings, nobody ever speaks up when they've been wrong, you will struggle to communicate honestly too. But the opposite is also true. When peace is normalized in your friendship group, you begin protecting your peace more. When intentional living is normalized in your social environment, you begin making more intentional choices naturally. This is why your circle matters so much. Not because friendship is about status or superiority, but because environments shape people. So I want you to become more intentional about the people who have access to you. As you grow older, you must realize that access is powerful. Not everyone should be granted a hallway free pass access to your emotions, to your thoughts, and to your inner world. Hello, social media addicts. And being intentional about the kind of people you want to call your friends is not pride or arrogance, it's stewardship. Because like I've explained, the people who are closest to you are going to influence how you think, how you feel, and sometimes even how you see yourself. So intentional friendship means asking, who brings peace into my life? Who encourages honesty in me? Who creates emotional safety for me? Who supports my growth instead of resisting or criticizing it? The goal in friendships is not to have the perfect friends. It's to have friends with whom you are most aligned. The truth is, friendship should feel like growth, not survival. So that's why I said in episode 3 that one of the clearest signs of a healthy friendship is that you don't constantly have to feel like you're surviving it emotionally. You feel free to exist honestly and authentically. You feel supported while you're becoming, and over time you realize the right friendships don't just add quantity to your life. And what I mean by quantity is that the right friendships don't just mean that you have more people in your life. It shapes the quality of your life itself. Good friends challenge you to grow. They correct your faults with love, and they motivate you to want to do good things. Good friends provide strength and warmth and resilience against life struggles and life's most difficult seasons. But associating with the wrong people will put you in trouble. You will have to compromise on your integrity to maintain that connection. So best believe that the people you're spending the most time with are directly impacting not just your decisions, but your destiny. This is why the Bible tells us that iron sharpens iron as one man sharpens another. And the Bible also says that companionship is important. It says two are better than one, for if one falls down, the other can lift up his fellow. So the cure is not to just exist without friends. It's finding the right kind of friends that can shape your destiny, that push you further to becoming who you were always meant to be. So guys, as we end this friendship series, I want you to remember this. Friendship is not just about who you spend time with. It's about who you're slowly becoming when you're around them. We started this series by talking about why some friendships don't feel the same way they used to. How sometimes nothing dramatic happens, but growth is quietly changing the shape of a connection in your life. And then we talked about the kind of friendship you actually need, the kind of friendship that feels safe, that feels honest, and that feels peaceful, not like a performance. And then thirdly, we spoke about how lasting, meaningful friendships are built not by accident or by convenience, but through vulnerability, consistency, maturity, and intentional effort. And today, we're ending the series with this truth. Whether you like it or not, your friendships are shaping you more than you think they are. They're shaping what you normalize, they're shaping how freely you show up as yourself, and they're shaping the version of yourself you feel safe becoming. So I want you to choose friendships that make your life feel more honest, more peaceful, more grounded, more aligned. Choose friendships that don't make you shrink, perform, or abandon yourself, because the right friendship will not just accompany you on your journey, it will help shape that journey, and that matters more than people realize. If this series resonated with you in any way, I would like to know in the comments below which episode spoke to you the most and what friendship is currently teaching you in this season of your life. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more intentional conversations on building a life that doesn't just feel productive but meaningful, because the goal is not just to have people around you. You and I know that means next to nothing. The goal is to build friendships that feel like home. Thank you so much for watching, and until I come your way next time, I love you. Mwah!